This is Simone's story.
There was a nurse one day that said, she came into my room and she said to me, "Oh, you're a Christian, what are you doing here?" It's as if people in the church don't feel that being a Christian, you should be suffering from depression. I want to use my story to dispel that.
Mental health is the single largest cause of disability in the UK.
Christians can suffer from depression. It's not something that's out in the world. It happens in the church. You can be a child of God and suffer from depression. It's an illness. Just like any physical illness, depression and mental health is an illness of the mind and the brain.
Can you tell us about your depression?
It's been a difficult road. Suicidal thoughts, self-harming, and very negative thoughts just bombarded in my head, morning, noon and night. You just couldn't escape them. I've been in hospital a few times, around 3 times. The one thing that hurts me most was when I think back of my son. Depression is a thing that at times, especially when it's bad, you get irritable around people. You don't want to be around anyone, you just want to be by yourself. I'm a single parent and it was only me and my son in the house. And there was times, many times when he needed me and I wasn't there for him. I would just sort of ignore him or push him away and just look after his basic needs, just make sure he's fed, just about. And then that was it. I wasn't there for him emotionally.
How has depression changed your faith?
Oh my, it has drawn me closer to God. Some people have got a disability or an illness or like with mental health and they pray about it and it's taken away, it's healed, you're healed straight away. But sometimes there are people that still have to go through whatever problems they're going through and it doesn't get taken away. But it's not because you've got a lack of faith, it's just for some reason you have to just go through that process, through that trial in your life. I wasn't healed from it, but I find suffering from depression has enabled me to lean more on God. And through leaning more on Him, it's helped me to get by. Because it's not in my own strength, because in my own strength and suffering from depression, I have no strength of my own and no ability to get by from day to day on my own. But it's through God's help that I can face each day and that I have the hope in Him. I wouldn't be here today if it weren't for God.
How could the church be more inclusive?
You can't just tell somebody who's suffering from a mental health issue or depression, just snap out of it, you'll be all right. It's an illness. You couldn't say to somebody with cancer, just snap out of it or get over it or whatever. So that's the same thing with mental health issues. Just show love. Because when you're suffering from mental health and depression, you don't feel nobody loves you and you don't love yourself, let alone you think nobody loves you. So, just showing love is such a major thing. Pray for discernment because as somebody with mental health and depression, you find it hard to ask for help. And sometimes you will suffer by yourself. So just be aware of people and try and discern if there's a problem. If you see there's a problem or an issue with somebody, approach them and find out, how can I help you? Or can I do anything to support you or help? That would make a big difference. In the beginning, when I was suffering from depression, I used to keep everything to myself. I never shared it with anybody. And that in turn would make things worse. I got worse to the point that I ended up in hospital just because I wouldn't reach out for help. So, and I have found over the years, through experience with suffering from my depression, that the best thing you can do is talk to somebody. Find the courage. It's not easy, it's hard. But find somebody that you find comfortable with and talk to them about your problems. Talk to them about how you're feeling. Don't feel shame, don't feel guilty. It's an illness.
Is there anything you'd like to add?
In the good times in your Christian walk, try to build a connection with God. Study the Word. Build up your strength spiritually. Because at times when you're at your lowest, you don't feel like reading the Bible, studying your quarterly or anything like that. During that time, you're living off what you had done before, all the work that you'd put in before. You're surviving on that. Talk. And through the talking, you'll get the support, help, love, and everything you need by talking. It's not easy, but try. Just share, and you'll be amazed at how people is there for you and will rally around you, and how God uses people to be there for you.
For more information, visit www.asna.info.